Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Get some more light on there. How is everyone tonight? The last live I did, I think I only had one person in here, so we'll hang out for a while, see if anybody joins. And if they don't, then we'll call it. But hopefully some people join this time. So it is another 100-degree day for something like we've had something like 18 or 19 100-degree days here in the Salt Lake City area. It has been absolutely ridiculous. It's relentless. We're actually hotter than St. George and Las Vegas sometimes now, which never really happens, but it's weird. So today we got a little show and tell here for you guys for later. I don't think I've covered this one before in one of the show and tells. I don't think I have, but if I have, you guys will just have to call me on my bullshit and tell me that I've already done that one, because I don't remember that I have, but it is possible. And then we'll also get into some, we'll talk about some gaming news, because there was some interesting stuff that hit. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so we'll get that ready for when we get some people in here, so we can talk about that. And then go here, and we'll go to PC Gamer. Okay, so let's see here. Nobody in here yet, so we'll hang out for a bit. So I got some good feedback on the video I did about the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, my reaction to the trailer. I got some, it got 1.7K views, which is good, and got a lot of good feedback on it, so I was pretty happy with that. One of the talking points was that because they Chris Pine's character at some point says, that we're a bunch of thieves or something like that, and so I expounded upon that by saying that that's awesome that they did a group of thieves, and other people were saying, well, it's obvious they're not all, quote, the thief class, or in 5th edition would be the rogue class. And I get that. I just meant that, like, if you ever saw the first Conan the Barbarian movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, they consider his party that he was in, he considered that they were a group of thieves, even though one of them was there was a female that was, I guess you'd call her like a ranger. She was like a ranger. There was a sorcerer, and then there was an actual, what you would call a thief or a rogue, and of course Schwarzenegger Conan, which was like the barbarian, obviously. So, but they were all thieves because they were going in to steal shit. That's what they were doing. So, and Chris Pine's character is basically doing the same thing in the D&D movie. However, the Honor Among Thieves is obviously a throwback to 1st edition, in that I showed it in, it's either in the Player's Handbook or the DM's Guide. I can't remember. I always forget which book it's in. But there's a cartoon, there's a sketch in there that says there is no honor among thieves. It's obviously a throwback to that. They've changed it to say there is honor among thieves. So that was a great homage to first edition. So there is some throwback to the word thief being used as a basically a player in Dungeons and Dragons. So that was an awesome, as far as I'm concerned, an awesome tribute to first edition. And they did it in an indirect way, but nevertheless they did it. So a lot of people were excited about the different creatures and so forth we saw in there. So all in all, word of mouth. I think is going to be pretty good about the movie. So I'm hoping that, and it's got a little bit of star power. So I have a feeling. I hope that it's going to do well. I hope it's done well. I hope it's a good movie. I hope it's fun, and I hope it does well in the box office. But we'll have to wait and see. So let's see here. Have we got anybody in here yet? Nope, just me. So we will just continue to look through stuff to talk about. Look for stuff to talk about while we wait and see if anybody joins us. Here. They're remaking the game where Sherlock Holmes fights Cthulhu. What? Frogware Games choosing to adapt an old story as a somewhat sequel to last year's Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. The Awakened is perhaps best remembered as the one where Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson take on a Cthulhu cult. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that you have the investigator versus a cult trope in any type of in a game or movie or book or anything else. So that's not necessarily an original idea, but if they do it well, it could still be fun. Let's see here. Meta is losing almost a billion a month on Metaverse Dream, even as revenue dips. Interesting. Well, I've been very reluctant to get into the 3D gaming, virtual gaming, just because VR, whatever you want to call it, just because I have vertigo. And I know that a lot of people, it makes them dizzy and motion sick from being inside the headset. Me having vertigo, positional vertigo, it's a particular type of vertigo. Positional vertigo, it would almost certainly make me sick. So that's why I've never really tried it. And I'm sure that at some point I need to do it, but whether or not I'm willing to invest $500 or whatever it costs to find out that it just makes me sick, yeah, I'm not willing to do that. So there'll be an opportunity at some point where I'm somewhere where I can try a VR headset. So we'll have to do it that way. And then if for whatever reason, if it doesn't make me sick, if hallelujah, it works and I'm able to do it, then I'll probably purchase one and tool around in the metaverse and see how I like it. But that's all one of those, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it type of a deal. Let's see here. Goat Simulator 3 ragdolls onto PC this November. Well, there's a game that I did not think when I first heard about the first one. I did not know there was a second one. But the first one, I did not think it would be something I would even want to try. But I did, and I'll be damned if that was not fun as hell. Running around as a goat, crashing into shit, getting blown up. It was actually a fun game. So Goat Simulator 3, I guess, is coming in November. I'm sure I'll be trying it at some point. So, well, we had one person pop in here. They popped in and gave a thumbs up and popped back out, it looks like. So, there's not anybody showing us any participants here. So, um, oh, now it says so there's two different counts on this stupid thing. There's one over next to where it says live, which you guys can probably see, where it says two and it has the thumbs up, and then where it says over on the chat log, um, there's a thing I can click, and I don't know if you guys can. Hey, Bastille, and you can click on participants. I don't know if you guys are able to do that, but if you are, and now it shows Bastille. Um, how's it going, Bastille? See if you've see if you've ever. Do you remember this? Did you ever play this? Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. Oh, nice, going part time. So the way to say that is that you're semi-retired. Then the way to say that, yeah, sounds cooler. You say you're semi-retired. So the yep is that you do remember this and you did play it, because this thing has got a horrible history. This game, but because I am the collector edition moron. Now this is not the original Pool of Radiance. This is the 2001 Ruins of Myth Draenor. This is not the original gold box Pool of Radiance. This is a different one. This one came out in 2001, I think it was, with third edition rules, and I never played it. I bought the damn thing. I pre-ordered this collector's edition and everything. I never even put it on my computer because, if you remember, people that got it right away. They got it straight away, even faster than I did. Loaded it up, and it was bugged and everything to the point where they couldn't play it. They tried to take it, uninstall it off their computer, and it deleted all of their system files. It basically killed their operating system. Yeah, this is specifically, it is Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. You cannot find it digitally. It's not on GOG. It's not on Steam. And it was so bug ridden, people were trying to take it off their machines, and when they would take them off their machines, it was deleting the system files off of Windows. So it was basically bricking their machines, because they had at that point they no longer had an operating system. So it was poison instantly. And of course, then they patched it later, and I don't remember. It took them a while to patch it, and so the sales just went. The pre-sales were really good, and then as soon as that happened, the sales just completely took a shit. And you can go back, you can do a Google on this, Google search on this, and you can read all the articles about it, about how bad. And it was by Ubisoft, and it had the third edition rules. The producer of it said that originally they were going to do it with second edition rules, and then midway through they decided to change everything to third edition. And I think that's why a lot of shit was bugged. But so I've never played it. Now I did go on and look today, and there is the most recent patch was like 2012 or something like that, or 2015 maybe, and it said it was the last patch it would have, and it was patch 1.4. So supposedly that patch fixed everything. I'm assuming, including the part where it deletes your system files. I would, before I ever installed it again, I would do a lot more research to make absolutely damn sure that it still was not causing that as a possible having that as a possible problem. But for game history's sake, we are going to do this as the show and tell for today. Now, this is the collector's edition, and I like showing these old collector's editions because, bam, look at the size of this box. back in the day, you got a lot of good shit when you got a physical collector's edition. There's the back. It has, hey Chupa, and it has a fold out, of course, and it looks beautiful. But like I said, I never played it because I was afraid to put it on my machine. So let's open this up now. I think by how heavy this is, I have a feeling there's extra shit in here because with the size of my collection, I'm always needing more space, and so I do things to kind of conserve on space. So I probably put other shit inside here because the box was so big and there was probably extra room. So we may get some bonus show and tell stuff out of here. I haven't been in this box in years, so let's go here. Okay, so first thing I pull out, this is the soundtrack for it, the Pool of Radiance Ruins of Myth Draenor soundtrack. See if the disc is in. The disc is not in here. Moron. The disc should be in here. Now, what that's going to do is going to trigger my OCD. So as soon as what you guys are not going to see, you guys aren't going to see when this camera shuts off, when I turn this thing off today, is this live and I'm done with the live and all that. What you're not going to see is you're not going to see Greyhawk 4x4 start tearing his fucking office apart, trying to find that goddamn disc now. Because that soundtrack disc should be in here and it's not. So now my brain is going, where the fuck is it? And now I got to find it. So you guys aren't going to see that, but that's going to happen. There's no doubt. Okay, let's see what's the next thing that comes out of here. Like I said, there's extra shit in here. This is the Icewind Dale CD, the jewel case. The discs are not in here. Now I have an idea of where these are, because I have for my my game discs, I had one of those old zipper portfolio pouch things to put all your discs in. So I'm pretty sure that's where that is. So I'm not too stressed about that. But because this is a soundtrack, that wouldn't be in that. So now yeah. Anyway, so that's in here too. Like I said, there's extra shit's going to be in here. So Icewind Dale 2. So at least I'm consistent. I'm putting all my D&D games together. No disc. Again, that's probably in the portfolio. Well, there's the Pool of Radiance. Now, I know these discs are in that portfolio because I've seen them in there the last time I was in there. So, yes, there's no discs for the game. But there it is. 2 CDs is what it was. And again, it's not available digitally. So if I do ever want to try and play it again, the only way I'm going to be able to do it is because I have the CDs. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Okay, here's the novel, because there was a novel for it of the same name, Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor, by Carrie Bibri. Carrie Bibri, based on the new computer game from SSI. Wow, that's horseshit, because SSI did not produce this. This was done by Ubisoft. They must have purchased SSI from the time that this book was printed and the time they produced the game, because that clearly says from SSI right there, which were the people that made the gold box games. If you guys remember the gold box games. So that is a neat little flub there. Anyway, so it did come with a novel of 312 pages. So decent sized novel. there is a dice pouch. Hey, Steel Guard, how are you? So the dice pouch looks like that. Just a regular old dice pouch. Says Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Mithranor, same thing. And obviously there's dice in here too. And they're just a set of, I did not open them. They're just a set of all black polyhedrals there. You got your, 7-piece. So it's got percentiles and your regular dice. So I'm old school. I consider a full set of dice 10 pieces because you have to have your 6-sideds for rolling a character. Your 4 6-sideds. So that takes it from 7 to 10 because you get 3 additional 6-sideds. They're harder and harder to find 10-piece, and especially now because with 5th edition they do that advantage thing. So there's actually 2 D20s now, so it would actually be an 11-piece set, I guess now. So, and then like I said, I knew there'd be a bunch of extra stuff in here just because I was trying to conserve space. So we have the Icewind Dale quick reference card here. So I had the discs. Well, I had the books. Here's the Icewind Dale 2 in here. The instruction manual back when there were such things. So yeah, a lot of this is just stuff from the Icewind Dale stuff. Ooh, that's an Icewind Dale poster. Oh, it looks like a map, a poster map. I am not going to unfold that for obvious reasons. So this is all just extra shit that's in here. Man, I got a lot of extra stuff in here. I had no idea I had this much stuff in here. So this is Baldur's Gate. This was that would have held your discs for the original Baldur's Gate. I got that in here. I know where these discs are. Again, that's in that portfolio. So there would have been the original Baldur's Gate. There would have been there was 5 discs, and then there was even, I remember there was a bonus disc, if I remember correctly. And then I've got this in here. Oh, I have printed this out. This is the Baldur's Gate README and Manual Addenda. So I guess after the fact, there was a README put out with an addendum or whatever, and I printed that out so I could have it while I was playing, I guess. Yeah, and that's a lot of I wasted a lot of ink and paper. Like 10 pages. Yeah, 11 pages of shit. For some reason I printed it out. I don't know why. The things we did back in the day. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. So here is the so in this collector's edition for this Pool of Radiance, now this, the title of the game itself is Ruins of Mithranor, and the module that's inside as part of the collector's edition is actually a tabletop module for 3rd edition. This one is called Attack on Mithranor, and it's an actual. It says for 4 6th level characters. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. This is not printed for resale. This may be the only way that you could get this module, was to get the collector's edition of the video game to get this. Because there's no price on this. It's not print. It doesn't have the printing and stuff for, like you would see for retail. I'm gonna have to find that. I'm gonna have to look that up and see. That could be a collector's item right there, just because it's the only way you could get it. Let's see what else is in here. Well, we've already seen everything that's in the collector's edition. We'll have to find out, Steelguard. It's possible that module is print on demand or PDF at least. But if not, that'd be kind of cool if it was the only way you could get it was through this. Well, we've already seen everything that was in this box on the back here, because it had the novel, the module, the soundtrack, the game discs and the dice. That was everything that came in the box. The rest of the shit that's in here that I'm not going to go through because there's a bunch of stuff in here, unless you guys want me to. But it looks like a lot of the manuals and stuff for all my D&D computer games are in here. See, like the Icewind Dale book and all that. This is just, yeah. And getting it all back in here, it looks like it would be playing Jenga trying to get all this shit back in here. So anyway, so that was the Ruins of Myth Draenor, Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. Oh, it does say SSI right there. I'll be damned. So SSI was still around at that time. It just doesn't have it on the back. So anyway, that was that. And again, it basically died on the vine because it had possibly one of the worst bugs of any video game of all time. The fact that it had the possibility of deleting your system files on your computer. That's probably the worst bug I've ever heard of a video game in my life. I've never heard of that before. So it's the only game that I know that's ever done that. I've seen games that lock up your computer. I've seen games that do all kinds of crazy, but never delete your system files. That's the only one that I know of. So, and hopefully the patch that they eventually put out for it did fix that, but I never installed it to find out. I may do it at some point. So now we got some people in here. Let's see. So we've already said hi to Steelguard, Chupa, Bastille, and I think that's it. So now that we got some people in here, did you guys see that Wizards of the Coast is setting up a video game studio led by a Dragon Age producer? I think it's called Skeleton Key. It's going to be, yes. It's at Skeleton Key, a new Austin, Texas based game development studio working on a AAA project. So it's going to be interesting. Are they going to? Obviously, they're going to be working on a D&D title. I'm guessing. I don't know what else they would be. I guess because they did say that they did say also Magic the Gathering. So maybe they're doing a Magic the Gathering game. Who knows? Oh, thanks, Bastille. So it is on there. Okay. Right on. So I'm sure this is still considered a collector's items because it's going to be an original print from the box. So I'm sure this is still probably collectible as hell. And I'm sure that novel is too, because I think the novel was only available through here too. So cool. So did you guys see that Wizards of the Coast is setting up? My phone is blowing up for some reason. And I can't get to it to silence it right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. They set up a video game studio. So can we hope that it's a D&D game or? Yeah, when does that come out, Steelguard? Isn't that September that comes out, the new Dragonlance novel? I should be able to, when I get it, I should be able to get it signed. Okay, August. I should be able to get it signed because I live maybe 10 minutes from Tracy Hickman. So I usually see him when we have the what we used to call Comic-Cons here. We can't call them that anymore since they got sued by San Diego Comic-Con. The Fan X, they have to be called now. I usually see him there, and I've had him sign other stuff for me, so I'll probably get it. I may even just wait and buy it there at the con and just get him to sign it then. So yeah, if you've never been to a con where Tracy Hickman does his, it's usually early in the morning. It's usually one of the first panels. He likes to do it early in the morning. Um, he does Tracy Hickman's Killer Breakfast. Um, and uh, not going to spoil anything for you in case you ever go do it. Um, Let me just say it is well worth getting up early to at least one time go to Tracy Hickman's Killer Breakfast. It's a panel, but he does something special. But I don't want to spoil it for you guys in case you guys just go see it. I just want to go do it. So, but it's well worth doing it at least once. So I think if you did it more than once, it would probably be redundant. Once you've seen it, you kind of see it. Well, I mean, it's fun to. I guess it'd be fun to go just to see the reaction of the people that had not done it yet. So, anyway, if you get a chance to do that, I would do it. So, so for those of you that are in here now, I was talking earlier about. So I was talking about the Wizards of the Coast video game studio, and I was also talking about. Um, I did not know Goat Simulator 2 was a thing, but now Goat Simulator 3 is coming to PC in November. And I was mentioning that the first one I had a ball with. I didn't think it would be a game that I would care about or like, but for some reason I ended up buying it. It was probably on sale, really big sale one day, and I just got it, and I had a freaking blast with that stupid game. So I'm actually looking forward to the third one now. I didn't know there was a second one, but um, if you are looking for it, it's just a stupid, just fun. There's no story really. It's just a stupid fun game. Let's see if there's. Uh, okay, so yeah, there was no, as far as I can tell, there was no Goat Simulator 2 because there's Goat Simulator, which is on Steam, and then there's DLC for it, but there was no 2. So for some reason, they're jumping right to 3. So maybe that's just part of the joke. Who knows? It's called Goat Simulator. The first one was called just Goat Simulator, and literally you play as a billy goat running around this town, and it's got ragdoll physics. So the goat can ram into anything. He can ram into cars. He can destroy gas stations. He can destroy buildings. You can do all that shit. And if there's an explosion, it shoots you straight up in the air, like half a mile up in the air, and then the stupid goat. There's no fall damage. It's just a stupid physics game, but I'll be damned if it isn't hilarious. Um, every once in a while you'll find a trampoline in the town somewhere, and the stupid goat you can jump up and down, and you can get super high with the trampoline, and you can just and you're playing as a goat. It's just stupid, but for whatever reason, if you need to kill 30 minutes or so, just brainless gaming, having fun, it's a blast. I'm telling you. So apparently they're putting out the next one. I guess they skipped the number 2. They're going straight to 3. Um, uh, and so I'm looking forward to that. Just for another stupid game to waste time on, and have fun with. So let's see here. I was going to ask you guys, those that are in here still, did any of you guys see the She-Hulk trailer? I saw the first one, and uh, is it well, if you haven't seen it, to me the CGI looks absolutely horrible. Like, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not sure if they're gonna clean it up more for, like, when the movie actually comes out, or if it's actually gonna look that. I mean, it looks like the CGI regressed 15 years or something, like, back to CGI from 15 years ago, you know? Um, if anybody if Bastille or Chupa has seen it, please chime in here and let me know, because I know other people are talking about the same thing. It isn't just me. And I don't know how Disney, with something like an MCU title, that because I Disney has pretty strict quality control. Why would they even put something out like that that looks shitty? I don't. It's a little baffling to me. You know, you might expect it from, you know, some other studios or something, but like I said, Disney and the MCU supposed to have pretty good quality control, and it don't look too great to me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting old. It looked like a goofy movie. The Monster trailers looked iffy too. Huh. I didn't see the Monsters one. So I did see the Game of Thrones one. What is it? House of the Dragons, or House of Dragons. Um and I listen, I'm a Game of Thrones, you know, uh fanboy. I love that show. And yes, the last season went off the rails. Don't care. I still enjoyed the whole thing. Yes, they could have done better with the last season, but whatever. I'm just happy to be along for the ride. So it looks good enough for me that I'm going to be watching that Game of Thrones one. What I haven't watched, um, I don't know when that comes out. To be honest with you, we can Google it here in a second. Um, the one I haven't watched is very little of the Rings of Power, and because I really don't want to see any spoilers, and there's been a lot of trailers that have come out where I feel like they gave away too much during the trailers, and it kind of spoils it a little bit for you. Um, so I've been avoiding the Rings of Power stuff. So, and I think I'm going to continue to avoid it. So let's see when Game of Thrones comes out here. Let's see here, House of the Dragon. All right, when does this come out? August 21st. It says. Um, oh, Matt Smith. So I wasn't sure about that. Matt Smith is playing a Targaryen. He looks so much different in the trailer. I wasn't. I kind of thought maybe, but I was like, I hadn't heard that. But yeah, Matt Smith is of Doctor Who fame, is one of the lead characters. So that's good. I like Matt Smith. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Rings of Power too. I just don't want to watch this. I just don't want to watch the trailers because I have a bad feeling. Because like where I've seen where the trailers have been available, it'll say extended trailer, and when you hear extended trailer, to me that means they're giving too much away in that extended trailer. I'd rather go in cold and experience it, you know, the first time in the show. You know, how was Morbius, Bastille? That was that. Oh, that was that Jared Leto movie. That's right. Yeah, I heard it didn't do real well. Yeah, see, Rotten Tomatoes is 16%, Metacritic 35%. Oof, that got slammed. What did you think of it, Bastille? Well, I'm gonna have to check it out. I mean, I'm sure it's on a free streaming. It's free on a streaming service at this point now. I'm sure. Um, what did my wife and I watch the other day? We had put off watching something that we hadn't seen it. Damn, the hell was it? I can't think of it right now. Senior moment. Can't think. We watched a movie a couple days ago, and we had been putting it off, uh, and we finally said, I can't remember what the hell it was. Anyway, I'm sure at some point I'll think of it. You had to rent it on Prime. Okay, wow, that's ballsy on for a movie that is that badly rated that they'd still charge for it. But hey, you liked it, so um, yeah, I we rent stuff all the time. It's cheaper than going to the movies. So for me to go to the movies, like the last I went to Top Gun, um, the new Top Gun movie, and I loved that. So for me, that was worth going to the movies, going to the big screen for. But it takes a lot for us to go to the movies, um, just because you know um, the idea of being in a room with a bunch of other people and not being able to pause to go take a leak or whatever, that doesn't appeal to me as much as it used to. So yeah, I'm trying to remember what that last movie was. It was pretty good too. I remember we enjoyed it. Oh well. Um, let's see here. What else was there to talk about? Did you guys have any topics you want to talk about? Man from Toronto. That wasn't it. Oh, that's got Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson, Haley Cuoco, Ellen Barkin. Yeah, I'd have to watch that one. Let's see here. Action comedy. Huh. Why have I not heard about this? I might have to check that out because I like Woody Harrelson. I love Kevin Hart. They're both good actors, funny. Kaylee Cuoco, I love her. Ellen Barkin, that's going way back. She's an older actress from back in the day. Let's see here. Yeah, I followed you back, Bastille. I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah, I as soon as you followed me, I hit you back. Um, so Steelguard, so Dragonflight is looking good. I believe you. I just can't give them any of my money while Bobby Kotick is still there. It's just for me, it's a matter of principle. That guy is everything that's wrong with corporate America, um, with the way he treats employees and has in the past, the whole track record and all that, all the stuff that went down. Um, yeah, I just can't do it until they step up and say he's got to go, uh, because all the employees there all signed a petition singling him out, saying he's got to go. He is absolute poison, and they still wouldn't get rid of him. So, um, yeah, uh, yeah. I again, I have all. You can see him right there. See him right there, right there. Those are all the collector's editions that I pre-ordered. I did not get the last one. The hell was the last one called? The one that's out right now? Something. Anyway, Shadows or whatever the hell it was called. And I did play it for a while, but Shadowlands, I think it was. Um, I didn't. I tried to, because uh, I normally was able to go on and like through Amazon and pre-order it, and no problem, they'd ship it right to me. I'd get my collector's edition and everything. Um, but the snipers, as they're called, that people that go on and buy like all the pre-order copies, and then they turn around and sell them on eBay, mark them up, and create a secondary market. The same thing that they do with the PS5s and all that shit. I couldn't get one, and I refused to reward one of these snipers by paying twice the price on eBay. So that was the first one. Shadowlands was the first one that I did not get the collector's edition. I wanted it, but I couldn't get it. Um, so uh, and this one I'm not giving Blizzard any of my money, so I'm not ordering this one either. So now, if a month down the road they decide to kick Bobby Kotick to the curb, I'll reevaluate then and probably give him my money, but not gonna do it while he's there. So do any of you guys still ever dabble in Fallout 4? Because there's a couple of big DLC sized mods, Fallout 4 London and Fallout 4 Miami, that are being worked on right now. And the London one, you can go on YouTube and see the trailer for it. That's going to be incredible. So if you guys dabble in Fallout 4 at all, um, hey, Mistra, how are you? Wow. So Mistra, I don't know, because I know that Baldur's Gate is one of your favorite games of all time. Um, and I want to know if you ever played or even saw this, Mistra. This was Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. This was the show and tell I did for today. This was the collector's edition box. This game came out in 2001. It's not available digitally, unfortunately. But you'll have to go back and watch this on replay to get the whole story as to why this game failed and disappeared like it did. But I'm curious to know if you ever even knew about it, Mistra, because it was just like same. Hey, Colin. Just like it was isometric, just like Baldur's Gate. You know, isometric view, same type of thing. Third edition rules. Um, I'm curious to know because you were such a fan of Baldur's Gate, if you ever even saw that. Because the controversy behind it was ridiculous. So you had, yeah, I know Bobby Kotick is on Coca-Cola. I thought they said they were going to shit can him though. I thought I read that somewhere that Coca-Cola was going to shit can him off the board. But I'll look into that a little bit later. But I thought I read that somewhere. Maybe I was wrong. So Mistra, what about the Icewind Dale? Because these came out like right after Baldur's Gate, and these are available on Steam. The Icewind Dale um, 1 and 2, they're both just like Baldur's Gate. No, I'm not giving up. Not giving up Coca-Cola either, because I mean he's on their board, but he's not the CEO, so he doesn't have direct control over employee relations and things like that. So okay, so this Ruins of Myth Draenor, Pool of Radiance, this came out like right after after all the Icewind Dale stuff, and yes, correct, Dritz. Um, the problem with this one was it was so buggy that people were trying to take it off their computers, and when they would try to take them off their uninstall it, it was removing the system files from their computers and bricking their computers. It's the as far as I know, it's the worst bug in gaming in video game history. Because if you tried to uninstall once you put it on your rig, you tried to uninstall it, it would take your system files off and kill your operating system. Um, so yeah, it died. Like the pre-orders were awesome because it was after Baldur's Gate and everybody was on the train. They all loved Baldur's Gate, so they wanted to get this. And so the pre-orders went like this. And as soon as it came out and that bug, everybody heard about that bug, it went and it never recovered. And that's why you can't even get it digitally because I don't think any of the platforms even want to touch it. But I have the collector's edition, so um, it. I don't know what was the technical stuff behind it on how it was when you would uninstall it off of your rig, you try to uninstall the game. For whatever reason, the executable for the game uninstall was also taking the system files off your deleting those as well at the same time. So yeah. Um, yeah, so now of course they came out and patched it later, and I looked it up. The last patch was done for it like in 2015 or 18 or something like that, 1.4. So I'm sure that there's there's a patch for it, but so many people were scared to death to even put it on their computers that it just killed it. As obviously it would, no one wants to do that. So, um, how's it going, Colin? Colin says I remember uninstalling Half Life and it took ages, and then I noticed it was uninstalling all of my games. Oof, damn! I never heard about that. Um, was that when Steam first came out, Colin? Because when Half Life launched, Steam launched right about as a platform started kind of right about the same time. I'm wondering if that was a Steam bug, way before Steam. Okay, so it wasn't a Steam bug then. It was actually a Half Life. It was a game bug. Wow, I never heard that. So it went after that directory. It basically was, yeah, it was attacking anything in that directory. Yeah, uninstalling anything in that directory. That's crazy. Yeah, I'd never heard that before. That's a new one. Oh well, the Icewind Dale ones, Mister. If you never played these are definitely worth doing too. You'll enjoy them, and they're on Steam. Well, you don't have you don't have a PC, so um, I don't know if they're on like Xbox or PlayStation Store, Xbox Live, or any of those. So I don't know if they're on those platforms. So it's just one of those titles that you can put on like you know your wants list that if the timing was right and they were on sale or something you ever wanted to try them, maybe it'd be worth it. Am I excited for GTA 6? Well, I heard, I think it was yesterday, I read something that um, they're going for the main storyline, campaign storyline and everything in GTA 6. They're going to try and do like a Bonnie and Clyde uh, type theme, storyline theme. And I think the main character can be, has the option of you can be male or female, I think. In GTA 6, they announced that too. So I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where you will have you could have two characters and you'll be going back between the two. You'll be swapping between the two characters. So Uh, the extended editions. Um, oh, I'm gonna look it up right now. I can tell you that will take a second to look up if there's extended editions of the. I'm pretty sure Icewind Dale has extended edition or enhanced. Sorry, enhanced editions. Yes, Icewind Dale enhanced edition and Icewind Dale 2 is not listed here. Oh, that's right. Icewind Dale 2, the code was lost. I remember that now. I remember reading that, and they said it was unable to be recovered. So they said that Icewind Dale 2 will never have an enhanced edition because they couldn't they lost the code and they could not recover it. So there is for the first Icewind Dale there is an enhanced edition. Yes. Yeah, I remember reading that, and yeah, they basically said there was no way to get it back. It was gone. Or whatever. I don't know if the servers that they had the original servers for it or whatever that they had their code on were lost. So, but I have my discs for the OG one, so at least if I ever want to, I can put it on and play it. But let's see. Anything else, guys? Let's see. Any other stuff to talk about here? Um, let's see if I missed anything. Let me go back up here. Oh, I did miss something. Bastio says, "Do they still sell diet lime flavored Coke?" I don't think they do. It was delicious, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So maybe they do. I just don't. Maybe they just don't have it here. Um, that's a good question. Let's see here. I think I got caught up on everything else. I always like to make sure I don't miss like anybody checking in and saying hi or anything. So I think I'm pretty much caught up on a lot of things now. So Mistra, if you're still here, and I think it might have been Colin was the other one. Um, the ones that were always telling me to stay to get caught up on the Expanse. I think I actually have time now to start watching the Expanse and get caught up on that. So Colin says, Mr. Console version in 3 years, PC version in another 3 years. Oof. Wow. Is that for GTA, Colin? Because that's yeah. There's no point in even. um. All right, Mister. Well, good night. I'm getting ready. I'm at an hour here, so I'm probably gonna shut her down anyway. So thanks for checking in, everybody. I appreciate it. Any last minute questions before we shut her down? Any last comments? Did I miss anything that anybody asked? If there was something I missed, please let me know. We will be playing D&D tomorrow, so I'll be tweeting out pictures and stuff like that from the game, as I always do. Do you have the Ruins of Myth box set? Right over there. I got two of them. I have two of them. Green boxes. Right there. Two of them. One is a lot darker than I don't know if there was separate printings, but yes, I have two of them right there. Right there. If that's I'm assuming that's the ones you're talking about. I also have two of the Menzo Berenzan. Right there too. The purple ones. I got two of those too. I'm gonna assume that's what the ones you were asking about. So I wonder. That's a good question, Bastia. Now that you asked that, I'm wondering if this module could be worked in. I'm assuming it could be worked in with that box set, probably, and all as part of a campaign. I'm guessing. Interesting. Um, Colin says, I've watched the first episode of Strange New Worlds and rather liked it, much better than Picard. I have heard only good things about Strange New Worlds. Good night, Mistra. Um, but again, I'm still working through Deep Space Nine, so I kind of want to get through Deep Space Nine, and then I don't know if I'm supposed to watch Voyager or Enterprise or whatever, and then Picard, and then Strange. I don't know if there's a particular order I'm supposed to go in, but all right, guys, we're over an hour. The voice has had about as much as it wants. You guys have a good night. Have a good weekend. Um, again, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see the tweets tomorrow night from the D&D game. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.